If you haven't noticed it by now, that life is a simulation. Earth is hell. Think about it. The good die young, the evil stay longer. Every morning we wake up in this systematic thing and we do it like until we die.
I've often wondered this, and now I really have to question, is Earth, our reality, actually us being punished and living in hell?
If you weren't aware, this, not this neighborhood, this lifetime is actually hell. You're in hell. This is not, that's why everybody thinks this is a simulation.
You know, I don't know if this is just me, but Earth is really starting to feel a lot more like hell than ever before. And are we waking up to that as a civilization, as a humanity? Just look at everything that's going on, whether it's in the news or whether it's files being released by the FBI. The crime, the corruption on almost every level. It's becoming inescapable now. And that's why a lot of people are asking that very question. Is Earth really hell? Now, I don't necessarily agree with all the points that are going to be shared in today's video, but I think this is an interesting thought experiment at the very least. So, with that being said, let's dive into it today and ask the question, are we in hell?
I've often wondered this, and now I really have to question, is Earth, our reality, actually us being punished and living in hell for some type of sin or something we did wrong in a past life? If you think about, we are basically slaves to the government, to the world. We wake up 7 o'clock in the morning. We send our kids off to some type of torture. We then go to work for however many hours, most of us at least 10 hours a day. We have bad drive times. And for what? To come home and spend an hour of vacuuming and doing dishes and laundry. And it's almost like this is actually the hell. And then we get to experience all these bad things. We get to experience our family dying and people getting sick, and nothing really makes sense. And it makes you wonder, is Earth actually just hell? Because there's not a lot of great things that happen while we're here. And I feel like sometimes we're just being punished for something we may have done in a past life. Let me know your thoughts.
Now, this kind of makes me think about the ideas of Gnosticism. Now, bear with me here. So, think about this planet in general. While there is a lot of great things, there is great things in terms of the physical aspect of life, things that we can enjoy. You know, it feels really nice to be out in the sun getting some waves, but if you have too much of it, you can get a sunburn, and it could even lead to skin cancer. So with everything that's good, there is another negative that's attached to it, and sometimes there can be so many negatives. But think about this idea for a second. In order for us to live on Earth, to actually sustain ourselves, things must die in order for us to continue living. Life in this realm demands sacrifice, which is honestly pretty dark if you really give it some thought, but that's the way it really is. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that anything discussed in Gnosticism is actually true, but I always think it's an interesting thought experiment. I'm very open-minded in general to ideas like this, but I want your thoughts about it down below in the comment section.
If you weren't aware, this, not this neighborhood, this lifetime is actually hell. You're in hell. This is not, that's why everybody thinks this is a simulation. This is hell. We live in hell. And you can be in heaven here within hell if you overcome everything before you die. But this is hell. Whatever you did to end up here, I must have done whatever it was too, because Earth is actually hell.
There is something to be said there when it comes to making life better on Earth for not just yourself, but for everyone around you. You could technically bring peace on Earth, but it feels like there are so many obstacles to get there that there's all these other forces kind of weighing you down, making it feel unattainable in this life. But we can go dark and we can go large on this topic, but at the end of the day, life really contains a lot of suffering, and even just witnessing your friends and loved ones pass away will send shockwaves of immense grief. Grief is one of the most powerful emotions you can experience. It's probably the most powerful experience, even more than love. It's painful and it can last years and years, sometimes even decades, and a lot of us, if we live long enough on this planet, will experience all kinds of grief.
If you haven't noticed it by now, that life is a simulation. Earth is hell. Think about it. The good die young, the evil stay longer. Every morning we wake up in this systematic thing and we do it like until we die. Earth is hell. That's what I mean. You don't need a rocket science to figure it out, that we are in hell. To see little kids suffering or dying of starvation, brutality, this is hell. If you know, you know. Only the woke ones know.
Do you believe we're in hell? Honestly, we're far enough along in this video right now that I'd like your opinions before you watch the last video down below in the comment section. I want your honest thoughts. Do you honestly believe we are in hell? I still am not fully convinced, but I do understand the perceptions and I understand people's opinions on this matter, because it really does feel like you can make a really strong case, especially now with simulation theory going on, and we've talked about that as well in a previous video, and they may have actually found proof that we are in a simulation. If you haven't found that video, I'll actually leave it up here so you can see the card on screen. But with that being said, let's watch the very last video today.
I wondered if we're all here being punished for something bad that we did in a previous realm. With the way our society's set up, it's literally an open-air prison and it feels like we're all serving a life sentence. We don't have a whole lot to look forward to anymore. It feels like our entire life is working and paying fees that we can't even afford. And then we're expected to shut up and take it, never question anything, and do this all the way until we're 65. Rich people seemingly get away with whatever they want to get away with, and the poor are always the problem. Can't pay all your bills on a 40-hour work week. It's always, you need to get a second job, you need to pick up a couple of side hustles. It's never, the rich need to stop taking from the poor. And this is why I often wonder, is this hell? Is this some type of a punishment? Are we in purgatory? Is there a point to this, or is there no point to this? And it kind of sucks that I'm never going to be able to find out the answer to this.
I don't think a lot of us will ever really truly understand what is happening on Earth and why it feels more like hell than ever before. Some people will say, well, we stepped into another timeline, and a lot of people will say 2012 was when that happened, and a lot of other people will say 2020 is ultimately when that shift happened. But that's a topic for a later video. We're not going to discuss that today. Leave your thoughts about this video, though, however, down below in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.